Hey, yeah, just tap yours, mate, for me.
And the mic.
We're all good, yeah. if you've got time.
Hello,
Hello.
and welcome to another episode. That mic joke was the best.
You guys may have missed it, but
Yeah, depending on the editorial decision.
Interesting things said by uninteresting people. You're hosted by Ben and Tom. Interesting things said by uninteresting people.
Welcome to another episode of Interesting Things Said by Uninteresting People, a podcast where we just discuss things that have sprung to mind, I suppose, over the last few days. My name's Ben, and as always, I'm joined by the much more lively half of the team, Tom.
hello.
How's it going, mate?
Good, thank you. How are you?
I'm all right, mate. I'm glad to be free from the sunburn that was plaguing me for the last
Where
few
was
days.
it? Was it a shoulder or was
Dude, it was a leggy leg and a bit of the back of the neck.
Mate, leg sunburn hurts.
Yeah, it's not cool. And also, I
Was
made
it the front, like the shins?
It was, mate. It was the shins. I'm not going to pretend that I've got huge calves, but it was like the back of the, where you got that little bit of sticking out. I made the horrendous mistake of, like an idiot, wearing shorts and flip flops, which meant a little bit of foot.
Where did you go? Were you just outside?
Dude, this was locally. Yeah, it was just at
This
the
is in
family
Barnstable?
at the Famalam. Yeah.
Oh my god.
We hit the barbecue.
Nice.
Yeah. We had
this
two
Sunday
barbecues.
night?
This was Sunday night. We had two. One was Sunday night. One was Monday.
Monday was really nice as well, actually.
Dude, not to get sidetracked immediately, like 5 seconds into the podcast, but have you ever had Beeracn chicken?
No.
Right, my dad is obsessed with making Beeracn chicken.
Is it beer can anything? Like, have you ever had
Right.
beer in a beer can?
Right. I spent a good 10 minutes making the bacon in a Jamaican accent Beeracn joke, and now I can't not hear that when I say Beeracn chicken. So I forget. But no, basically, if it's a cool thing to try on the barbecue. I guess it's a bit of a gimmick.
Yeah.
You open a can of lager, shove it up a chicken, and then you cook the whole thing for like 2 hours, and then the lager evaporates and makes it really moist. It's really good.
Oh.
Like I said, I was not planning
on
on talking about this,
No.
like Ben's culinary spot, culinary corner.
culinary corner.
But yeah, I'd recommend people look it up if you're looking for something, because it's got that little bit of unusual value if you want to be, if you want to spice up your barbecue contribution a
Ooh,
bit. So whole
like
chicken on a beer can in the barbecue. Yeah, really moist, super nice, charred on the outside, moist in the middle, really nice.
That's what you want.
That's what I did.
What have I been? We went to see Marmozets in Exeter on Monday night.
Oh,
Which was really
we haven't
good.
talked about this.
Yeah,
I mean, not that we talk about everything off air, but that's really cool.
I'll do some pro podcasting here.
Okay.
So, I'm getting my phone out. I'm just going to the photos section, and
Tom's using his thumbs to activate his iPhone. He's scrolling through the screen.
we were walking around the Exeter Lemon Grove, which we saw. And look, we saw him. We got a little picture.
Oh, no way. Oh, dude,
I was
I'll tell you what, mate, that's definitely going to be the thumbnail of
It's got to be in it. But yeah,
Oh, cool. Was it a good gig?
Yeah, they were really nice as well. It's funny because back in an old band of mine, No Captive, we supported them like a long time ago, like 2013 or 14.
Yeah.
And I said to them, I was like, we were just chatting generally. I said, "Oh, we're coming to the show tonight. We're looking forward to it." Blah blah blah. And we saw on Twitter they'd been in Birmingham the night before.
Yeah.
And because I've been on long drives with bands as well, I kind of know what they've probably been through that day. I was like,
Yeah.
"How was the drive today?" And they're like, "Oh, awful." And they kind of opened up a bit. I was like, "Yay,
Yeah,
friends."
band buddies.
And I said, "Oh, bit of a weird, sad fact, but our old band I was in supported you guys in Bristol at one point." They didn't remember, but
No one remembers the
they
support.
didn't remember. But they said it was cool, and they're like, "Oh, you still playing music?" I was like, "No, only for covers and
Yeah,
money
sure.
now." And then they laughed and said, "You probably earn more than we do."
Oh,
And I was like, "It's not a good."
and then we both drank more whiskey
Yeah.
and cried into the night.
No, they were really nice. We chatted to all of them as well. It wasn't just like a couple of them. But
Oh, that's
it was
really
cool. Yeah, and then a week before that, we shot Mark James's little film,
Oh, sweet.
which is really cool. Like, I'm really hoping it's going to turn out well. I'm sure it will. Like, Mark's had his head pretty screwed on for the whole thing. And it's like,
Yeah.
all I did was like shoot. I kind of helped out in general.
Yeah.
Stunt car driver as well.
No.
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
Just had to drive my car, but that's still stunts.
a bit like a stunt, yeah.
And
I stopped safely and appropriately.
yeah, there you go. And yeah, I just shot some like behind the scenes footage and some pictures and stuff. But it was really fun. It was a good day, and you got like actors down from like real places, from London. They're not like mates.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So,
Yeah.
like, it was a proper crew. Like, there's about 8 of us in total or something, all going
Okay.
around. You know, sound man with the bowl, the everything.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
cool. It was really. It was like an interesting day. Regardless.
So what genre of film is it? I mean, is it?
Do you know what? I'm not overly sure. I haven't seen the script, and I was only there for the second day.
Okay.
So I saw drips and drabs of stuff.
Okay.
I would guess it's sci-fi-y.
Oh,
I would guess.
Okay, that's bold on a
Yeah.
on a limited budget. You know, on a smaller production. That's really good.
I guess it is. I'm not sure. He would explain it much better than I have. He'd be like,
Okay.
"No, it's not a sci-fi. It's an
It's
adventure
a
film."
techno thriller.
Yeah. No, I'm not sure. I know it's kind of inspired by like the space film.
The space. What? Star Wars.
No, Interstellar.
Interstellar. Okay.
Yeah, but like that, but not like that, but a similar idea, I think.
Okay.
So like different times and
we should give it,
violations and
especially as he gets close to having it finished. We should give it a bit more of a plug because Mark does some really good work, and I think people are probably interested to see. Good independent, I guess,
Yeah,
small
it looks,
films. Yeah.
from what I've seen of it, which he's posted a few like screenshots on the WhatsApp group, and it looks pretty cool. So
Awesome. What's the color
Hopefully.
grading like, Tom?
the color grading is lovely,
Excellent.
lovely.
That's really good. That's really good news.
So yeah, that's kind of what I've been up to.
Hey, talking of good news,
Talking of good news, we
need to dun dun.
Yeah.
Tom's good news. People get it by now. They know we've got a segment.
right. It is good news. It is good news. But I know, a while back we talked about Trump and everything.
Yes.
And that was when he'd been elected. And that was like, we always said when we started this thing, we don't want to be political.
Mm-hmm.
And I still don't really want to be. But I think this is good news in general that old North Korea are opening up and are finally meeting up with South Korea and ending the Korean War. And
that's
talking
really
of
positive, mate.
talking of denuclearizing and speaking with Trump soon. And there's an article yesterday that said that if they give them up, America will help them get everything they need, all the food and all that sort of stuff. So it's really positive stuff, and that's so rare you hear something like that. It's like what a step for him to make, because that Kim Jong, the leader, would have been totally indoctrinated to be like America bad.
Yeah, sure.
Korea good.
Well, you do wonder a little bit about that. I mean, I know this is the thing. It's on the one hand, it's easy to get drawn into the deception of the whole thing, and like in the what was the film that Seth Rogen made?
Oh, the I know the one you mean.
Yeah, that one about where they go. Yeah, you know the one. Where it's where they become friends with him in the film, but then it's revealed that it is all a game.
Yeah,
it is all, he's just playing mind games. So there's a little bit of you that wonders, how naive he really is. But at the same time, like, you can believe, maybe like you say, that he would be brought up to say, no, you are in charge.
Yeah.
You are the god king of this country.
Yeah.
You are the supreme leader. What you say goes.
Yeah.
And you start to believe your own bullshit, really.
Well, yeah,
and
he would, because he's been told that forever.
Yeah.
But I there's a bit of me that really hopes that he's maybe just woken up a bit and seen through it and gone, do you know what? I'm smart enough to know that isn't the case.
Yeah.
And my people are starving.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
But it can only be good news. We'll say it next week if you're like nuclear bombs dropped
exactly.
on.
Well, this is the thing. I mean,
England.
The only thing that would be a shame here is if they denuclearize and then old Trumpy goes, we're not worried about that agreement anymore. You're going to do what we tell you to. And where's your nukes now? Do you know what I mean? So I hope I do, because it is good news, and we're not allowed to talk about bad news in the good news segment until the official allotted time has ended.
You've ruined
it. You've ruined it forever. I hope it stays good news. I'm sure it will be.
I hope it does too. I just spit some tea down myself. I was so
excited
by the good news.
I've got to say, it's Kim Jong Un.
Oh my god.
Moving on, away from good news. We're officially out of good news, so we're allowed to talk about bad things.
Bad things.
So, Tom, have you got a bad thing to say about any kind of photography or Huawei's or
Huawei's?
Let's take a moment there. What a seamless transition that was between segments.
Bloody hell! I didn't even notice it happened, and here we are.
We've
already finished talking about it. I guess in smartphone news, I tried out a Huawei P20 Pro, which is supposed to be like insane new camera for Android, and it was really impressive. And bless Kieran for letting me use his phone for like an afternoon while we went out, took pictures and stuff with it. But it's the first phone with, I'm using the air quotations here, AI built in, because I feel like AI is becoming a bit of a buzzword.
Sure.
It's a bit like, oh, this phone can identify when it's looking at something. AI. Whoa, man. And really, it's just like, not quite that. But I thought it was really good because when it does have AI and when you point the camera at certain things on this P20 phone, it will identify what it is and then change how the camera works for that thing. So if you point it at leaves, for instance, one of the modes, it'll pop up at the bottom. You can switch it off, obviously, if you don't want it. And it says greenery. And then it boosts all the greens, so it really saturates them up and makes them look like ultra green. Yeah. Which, like, when I say it sounds bad, but it does quite a good job of it. And it makes it, like, ready for social media, literally like that. If you don't like editing pictures and you're not even keen on doing Instagram filters, you could upload it and be like, yeah.
So is it like if you find yourself doing the same things to your photos every time? Like if it's I'm a nature photographer, it's only for Instagram, it's not for my professional. You know, I guess there's a blurry distinction there anyway. But if it's like, it's for Instagram, I'm just going to boost the greens, I'm just going to do this, I'll let the phone do it for me.
A good example is like so it does the green one. There's also a flower mode. So when you push it over to flowers, it will like boost all the different colours of flowers and desaturate like the background and stuff to make them stand out a bit more.
Wow, okay.
And like my mum takes pictures of flowers on her phone all the time, and she's always looking at them. Look at these. And I can imagine like if that mode was on, she'd be like, "Look how I can't believe it! Look how vibrant they are." I think it's
I've just got the photographer's touch.
Yeah. So I just know what I'm doing, I guess. Green fingers. But no, it's really cool. And like if you're like a blue, unfortunately, the day I was testing it on, there was no sky at all. It's a classic British, just grey but really bright.
Do they have that as a mode? Yeah.
No. But they do have blue sky. So like looking out the window now, there's blue hints to it.
Sure.
It really boosts the blue.
Okay.
And I think that's probably the only one that looks a bit fake and weird.
Okay.
But otherwise, it's quite good. And I was really like impressed by it. There's one, if you point it at text, it will sharpen up all the text. Because obviously, if you're pointing at text, you're most likely trying to capture what it says. So it sharpens up all the text, make sure that's all clear, and then it kind of forgets about the rest of the image.
I wonder how that would work with things like optical character, like OCR, with character recognition, where it reads it, where it actually will, so then you can put it into a program to then highlight and copy and paste from the photograph of the text.
And maybe it can. I didn't really play around with it much because I was just trying the auto modes on both phones because that's the only way to kind of keep it as comparable as possible.
Well, mate, you've got to uphold the fairness name
that
Byte Review has
big
gained
fairness
for itself.
Name. But no, it was really good. And every time I took a picture of it, I was like, that looks stunning. That looks awesome. It's done a really good job. There's only a few times, and you'll see in my next video, which comes out hopefully over the weekend.
Yeah.
But when this is out, who knows? You've probably already seen it.
Yeah, right.
There's only a few times where the iPhone bested it still, because the iPhone's like, I don't know, my iPhone. Well, the iPhone's like September, so it's pushing like, I don't know, 9 months old now or something. In the world of smartphones, that's old.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the camera on the iPhone probably bested it, like probably about 3 out of the 10 or 12 photos that it took. So the P20 Pro is definitely better. Pretty much on everything. It was only on like white balance. The iPhone was nailing it. It was like I was taking pictures outside and it would be like super blue sometimes on the Huawei, but the iPhone it was all sorted. But anyway, from the boring stuff, the AI thing really really cool.
Yeah.
The portrait mode really good as well, because usually in a portrait mode on a phone, you press it and it zooms in because it uses the second camera to like capture the
I'm with
bit,
you, yeah.
And it uses the other one, but doesn't on the P20. It stays where it is. And because the P20's got 3 cameras, it's got like a monochrome, a 40 megapixel like monster, and like a standard 8 megapixel.
Right, okay.
And it combines all those into one 10 megapixel shot. But it doesn't have to zoom in because it can take all the massive amount of information from the 40 megapixel and just bring it all in. Which is really cool because a lot of times when you're trying to take a picture of someone in portrait mode on an iPhone or something, it jumps in so far, you're actually too close.
Sure.
And it's like, oh, hang on, I'll just walk back. And you don't get that on the other one.
Yeah.
Which I thought was cool.
Oh, excellent, man.
It was a cool phone.
I mean, when we were talking about AI in photography as well, there is something new that I think we talked about very briefly with the Google Clip.
Yeah.
That I want to get your opinion on, just see what you think of that, because it's basically it's a new wearable camera.
That's it, yeah.
That Google have come out with. And it's supposed to just automatically take shots. Like when you're saying about how it can identify what you're looking at.
Yeah.
The AI in it is supposed to be going, well, that's a blurry shot. No, that's got a thumb in it or whatever. Yeah. That's no good.
Yeah.
And sort of so it's continuously taking photos.
That's it.
But keeping the decent ones.
Yeah, and it gets and it tries to like capture events as such.
Yeah.
So if you're like doing more activity or something, it'll take more photos.
Yeah.
And if you're just sitting there, it won't bother, which is quite cool.
Is that weird? Like, is this whole idea weird?
Dude, I do think it's weird because I think to knowingly wear a camera around your neck, because you can't be bothered to get your phone out and take a picture, or you just don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't know. I find that concept weird. Like, I get vloggers, that's fine. You're making a video and you are creating the content to a point, but that sort of stuff is not. Because you can get little stands for it and stuff, so you can take it off whatever you're wearing it.
Okay.
And you can put it on a stand and put it on here and that. The review I watched for it said that the quality is quite bad. So, and it doesn't always get things right. I think it was a guy was testing it out to make sure he could get photos of his kids, because kids are notoriously hard to take pictures of because they never stand still.
Yeah.
And he said the clips camera was no better than anything else he'd tried. But he said it was good to have, like, not have to think about it.
Yeah.
He said he could just put it in an area and just forget about it, and it would have taken those pictures.
See, that it makes me wonder. There's not to get too deep in the philosophy rabbit hole here, but is that because it's taken out the intentionality out of it? Do you know what I mean? Like, you're not choosing to capture a moment.
No.
It's like, it's almost like the social media of taking photographs. It's just like, I'll capture everything. It's almost like noise.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
I'm not
definitely.
really getting this out very well.
Well, no, there's something to say when you see something cool happen or something you want to capture.
Yeah.
You remember getting your camera out to take the picture, and it's
Yeah,
like, oh
yeah.
I've got a picture of that. I remember doing that.
And there's an engagement with it instead of it just being, oh yeah, I just don't want to feel like I've missed anything. Because I can imagine people wear them on holidays before they get nicked.
Yeah.
Or assaulted on the,
Yeah.
to have it, you walk around with your camera literally on your,
Attached to you,
front there. So I can imagine people doing that and going, oh yeah, that's how I take my holiday photos.
Yeah.
But then it removes the, I don't know, I'm not sure that I like that bit of it.
No, mate, I can see it working for perhaps people that disabled or something. Maybe it's really cool for them, and it sorts it out on a accessibility kind of level.
Yeah.
So people that can't do stuff, maybe it is cool to have it and just drop it somewhere while they do something else.
Yeah.
But no, I'm not keen.
Okay.
If it come out with like amazing results, then I've been like, oh, that's interesting. But apparently it doesn't. But it's cool.
Do you reckon Google have just kind of missed? Maybe it's one of these things where they're making tech that they just haven't thought it through. Maybe it's just to see whether they can do it.
Yeah, I think it is. I think a lot of Google stuff is a bit like that sometimes. It's just like, I mean, the Daydream VR headset, like, they push that quite hard.
Yeah.
But I almost feel like they've done that because they can, and the intention is just to keep researching it as opposed to like really sell it.
Yeah.
They don't need to make money out of that.
Well, it makes sense. I mean, and of course we all remember Google Plus,
Yeah, which is still going.
Is it?
Yeah. It honestly is. Every now and then because I'm obviously logged into my Google account on Chrome.
Yeah.
It'll go at the top right, it will say notification, I'll click it and it'll be like, recommended for you on Google Plus. I'm like, what?
Why?
Google Plus.
But again, mate, we're on fire today. We are on fire. Speaking of technology that Google,
oh my god,
maybe is reaching further than they ought to. Have you seen Google Duplex?
I have.
I said knowing.
Yeah. Have you seen? Yeah, Google Duplex. Mad stuff.
Is incredible, isn't it?
You go for it.
Well, I think this is worth people checking out.
It definitely is. It's literally. This is proper future stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
This is like, I don't know. It almost feels like a Nintendo Entertainment System to what it could be.
It's like there are two halves to this. So there's the half which is almost arguably the smaller half, is how impressive it is that they've got this to work.
Yeah.
But then the big half is the ramifications of this.
Yeah.
So what is it?
So Google, I guess the best way to explain it is if you've used Siri or Google Assistant or whatever on your phone, and you all know how that works, you can ask it how the weather is and all that sort of stuff. Google Duplex is basically the system can now make phone calls on your behalf and set an appointment. So imagine if you want to, for instance, like ring a haircutter, which is like the example they give.
Yeah.
And we'll post it in a second. You can ask the assistant, oh, can you book me a haircut tomorrow at 10 at this place? And it will go, yeah. And it will ring them for you. And the voice is so good now that the person on the other end of the line doesn't realise it's Google.
Yeah.
Because it puts in like all the little human inflections that will go like, I think the example is it goes, it literally has the It goes, can I book a hair appointment for, tomorrow at 2? And the person speaks back all the normal human replies.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, the Google thing does tunnel it pretty directly at making that appointment because obviously it doesn't have context of things.
Yeah.
But It's amazing. It makes the appointment. It's all sorted. The woman on the end of the line has no idea.
Yeah.
And Google Assistant just pops back to you and says, "Yeah, I've done it."
Should we? I did check that we had the tech to do this, and Tom went, "No, I'm not doing any more work.
I'm not doing work.
But should we try and insert?
Yeah, that's
like a clip of it.
Yeah.
I don't know how long, but so we don't get sued.
Have a listen. I know we can do the whole thing. Have a listen and just think about how weirdly human Google is.
So how can I help you? Hi, I'm calling to book a woman's haircut for a client. I'm looking for something on May 3rd. Sure, give me 1 second. Sure, what time are you looking for around? At 12 p.m. We do not have a 12 p.m. available. The closest we have to that is a 1:15. Do you have anything between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m.? Depending on what service she would like. What service is she looking for? Just a woman's haircut for now. Okay, we have a 10 o'clock. 10 a.m. is fine. Okay, what's her first name? The first name is Lisa. Okay, perfect. So I will see Lisa at 10 o'clock on May 3rd. Okay, great. Thanks. Great. Have a great day. Bye.
How weirdly human was that, right?
Oh my god.
It's almost like no time has passed at all.
It is. But the thing that's really creepy about it is, I think, is the ums and the pauses and the ahs. Yeah, that's creepy. But someone said in a comment section that they'd read an article saying, so this, we're going down the rabbit hole a bit now. Someone said that it uses the not only to appear more human, but for also to give it time to compute.
Oh,
so it'll be like,
so it's like a loading screen.
It's literally what we do, because we say because we're not sure what else to say, because we think about it. It's like
wow,
it's literally hedging to compute.
That's cool.
What it needs to do. So
that's really
assuming
cool.
he's right.
Yeah,
and then it makes total sense.
Yeah,
but someone I think I watched MKB HD video, and he's saying that is like passes the Turing test.
Yeah.
Like straight away.
Yeah.
Because you can't tell.
Well, that's I guess it does in the context of those conversations, I guess. And that's the thing, is it? But because that's all it's doing, that's all it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
Because there's there's so much to talk about this. But because there are people who are genuinely concerned about it and saying this isn't right.
Yeah.
And they're okay, so not to get sidetracked here, but have you ever watched Humans?
No, I haven't.
That's worth a watch.
Yeah.
There's a new series coming out, and from the trailers, I'm not going to bother going into detail. If you haven't seen it, this kind of still makes sense. But all the synthetic people in the new trailer for the new series have bright green eyes.
Yeah.
And they never used to. And I wonder, because in the series they're kind of out now. People know that these robots have awareness.
Yeah.
Right. And I wonder whether it's in the storyline going to be like a requirement. You have to be programmed with these bright green eyes, so people know they're talking to a robot.
Yeah.
And this is what people are suggesting about Duplex.
Yeah.
They're saying, right, well, obviously, it will need to announce first thing, hi, you're talking to Google Duplex.
Yeah. I think it probably does need to do that.
Yeah, okay.
Which might make people just put the phone down straight away.
Yeah, sure.
But I don't think it's fair. I don't know. On almost a human level, do we need to know? Well, because that hair appointment, there's no issues there. No one was like being sidetracked or anything.
This was the counter argument that people were making. They were saying, I want it either to be indistinguishable from a human or not at all.
Yeah.
Either let me talk as if I'm talking to a person, or don't bother about it. I don't want it to be you're talking to a robot, because I don't go, yeah, fine, whatever.
Someone really can't be bothered to phone me. Wow, this isn't the assistant. But yeah, I don't know. I think there's equal arguments either side, because it is really amazing. It is really cool. But if you combine it with all the bad stuff that it means, like you were saying a while ago, there's that Adobe software that can impersonate somebody.
Yeah.
So if we get an impersonate call from a loved one from Google Duplex, and someone programs it to say something terrible, like, can you send me money or something?
Yeah.
The scamming thing could go insane.
Do you know what? It would, on the most basic level, all it would need to be is you get a phone call from your significant other who rings up and goes, oh, hey, it's me. I'm such an idiot. What's the password for our online banking again?
Yeah.
And that'll be it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's all it takes.
Dude,
They go, okay, yeah, love you, yeah, bye,
Yeah.
okay, bye.
Dude, maybe it's a case of like that if you suspect it's a Google Duplex call, then you can say something midway that makes it identify itself.
Yeah.
So if you just
Are you a duplex?
Yeah.
You have to tell me.
Yeah, Duplex, identify yourself. And it just
Yeah.
goes, you're talking to a Google Duplex.
Well,
maybe something like that that's less like you're
Yeah.
speaking to a robot. And if you suspect it, because there is when you or listen back to that call, you can there's times where it's like reading out, and there's a Google blog post where it does all these amazing things. There's
Sure.
a time where it's reading out numbers, and you can tell it's like
Okay.
0, 0, 1, 1. You know, it's like it's
Okay.
clearly. A Google
That's a
Duplex.
shame though, because
Yeah.
you get because EE have got better number reading software than that. You know, or like where it will go like, oh yeah, 007
Yeah.
953. You know, yeah. So hopefully they should crack that pretty quickly.
But I mean, it's worth looking on that blog post page because they get the Duplex to deal with loads of different situations that would obviously arise. So there's one of it dealing with interruptions. So someone constantly interrupting it, as people sometimes do on their phone. It's it dealing with different accents, and it asking them again to say it, which is like insane.
Yeah.
And there's one where you can obviously pick a voice for Duplex as well. But you can have
Sean
accents
Connery,
on the voice
obviously.
as well. Yeah, obviously for every British.
Yeah.
But you can have accents on the Duplex and like whatever you need. So, you know, it's like, where's the limit? Like, where, you know, if you're trying to phone somewhere to get something and you want us, do you know what I mean? And you want, actually, I want someone to book it that has this specific accent or is obviously of this race,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, they have because there's lots of studies done on the trustworthiness of different accents. So, you know, coming from the Midlands, I can freely say that the Birmingham accent is low on the scale. But also you have things like a mild Scottish accent or a Newcastle, like a Geordie accent.
Yeah.
Tends to make people feel a bit more friendly, a bit more welcome. You know, it just is what it is, I guess.
That's it. You know, if you want to make a delicate phone call to somebody, you obviously wouldn't send Duplex, but
no, you'd want Professor
McGonagall
to break the bad news.
Yeah, look, I've sent Dumbledore.
Yes. But this is it, though. I mean, because in my mind as well, there are two sets of people who would really benefit from this. One is disabled people.
Yeah, big time.
Even people who've got, say, a really bad stutter, or have some, there are people out there whose voice is a bit difficult to understand for various different reasons.
Yeah.
For them, that could be great. This could be a godsend.
Yeah, it could be amazing.
There is another set of people, though, which I don't want to encourage, which is because I feel like it's happening more and more. It's just the people who just don't want to talk to other people. Who, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
who are a bit like
introverted.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that there's anything wrong with being a little bit quiet. You know,
not at all, yeah.
But the people who can't do that, like almost, and it's almost that it facilitates their descent into.
Yeah.
I'll just tell Google to call.
Yeah,
the shop.
He only speaks for Assistant now.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is like, but mate, that's interesting you raise that because Assistant could well be used. You know, obviously Stephen Hawking, who's passed away now, but he had his voice wasn't great.
Yeah,
but if Google Assistant gets to the point where it can translate you in real time, you know, you could have any voice you wanted.
Oh,
that'd be
Sean
cool.
Connery.
Sean Connery. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy, really.
That would be insane. I mean, I guess it's all the technology slowly coming together to be able to plug yourself into a different world and be what you want to be. Do you know what I mean? Like almost like Ready Player One. You know, you can pick your voice and you can see what you want to see and appear how you want to appear and all this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Really fulfill your inner potential.
Yeah. Mate, what you're saying about them, if two of them spoke together.
Oh,
so,
yeah. Because I would wonder what that would be like. And this might tie in. Here we go. Right, tie in with the security of it. Because so we were talking before about before we started recording about old inkjet printers. I think they still do it. I'm not sure whether this is still a thing.
I think newspapers still have it.
Right,
I'm sure they do.
Where you have identification dots in whatever you print. Not something that you would normally notice to the human eye, but if you had to identify, did this print come from that printer, you could do it. So there's tiny little dots, or I think they're yellow dots sometimes, where you can say, right, this comes from there. There must be something in the speech pattern of a duplex that would let it realise if it's talking to another one.
Yeah.
So, and then immediately it'd just be like, all right, we're both duplices, and then and then that's the end of the conversation. And then they figure it out.
Yeah,
like computer speak. And then done. Yeah. Appointments booked for the next 6 years.
Yeah, literally.
So, but then when you were talking about security and having an option to identify it.
Yeah.
I know it's the classic cops and robbers thing, isn't it? Where one will upgrade their technology, but then the people out to circumvent it will upgrade their technology.
Yeah.
But you could have phones that can just identify it, and it will show on the screen going, "Oh, you're talking to a robot."
Yeah.
Because it will pick up on the same.
Yeah.
If it's made mandatory, to have these flags in it.
Maybe that's what it will be. Maybe if you pick up the call, it will just give you the number like normal, but if you check the phone, it just says duplex call.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe that's a less invasive way of.
But then the people who want to get around that would stop it from having the flag, the flags in it.
Yeah, it's true.
Eventually,
I just thought we could have a duplex caller in. So we've had our first caller in, and he'd be like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you're here! Google, this is great!
Yeah,
I'm so happy to have you on the show." And he's like,
"This real passive aggressive duplex." Have you listened to the show much? What do you think?
I don't have an opinion on that.
Yeah. Oh wow, man. Yeah,
but that'd be great.
It is scary.
Because Randy's
stuff.
not going to call in.
He never does. He never does. I've blocked his number anyway, so
yeah. I've stopped him from seeing these now.
Yeah, nice. I know we thought about mentioning it, but we don't have to dwell on it too much. But talking about scary technology,
yeah,
I feel it's worth mentioning that new Boston Dynamics stuff.
Yeah,
or as I put it when I told my brother about this, so you can keep up to date with the threat. So you
keep up to date with the latest
latest threats. Yeah, dude. So there's two, aren't there? There's two new.
There's like the human one and like the dog one. Mm-hmm. It's just kind of how I put it. But the one that I saw that shocked me is like the classic. So you probably all seen the video of the robot doing like a flip and it falls on its face.
Yeah.
And it's like we all laughed at it then, but now look at it now. And the video I saw, it's just like literally running autonomously through a forest.
Yeah.
And then it jumps over stuff, and it's like,
it's crazy.
Oh god, it just needs a gun. That's all it needs.
And then that's it.
A gun and a duplex voice, and then we're really.
Yeah. Freeze. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like literally negotiating with somebody.
Yeah.
Get down from the ledge. Why should I? Mm-hmm. Jump. Like no.
The early trial runs. Oh man,
we lost a lot of people in those early days.
Oh wow. But the thing, because it's the big step now is that they're navigating autonomously, aren't they? They're analysing the environment and saying, right, I want to get from here to there. Just go. Don't. There's no programming it and saying, right, you need to take this route, that route.
It's just
step
going
up
for
there.
it now.
Yeah. I mean, that's incredible.
I mean, it's still kind of. You watch it jump over a log and it's clumsy.
Sure.
It's like I could jump a log quicker and better.
That's saying something.
But it's the fact that you can even do it at this point.
Man.
And like we're saying about all the technology coming together, I can't imagine a point where it's all together. It's like voiced by Google Duplex, robot by Boston Dynamics.
Yeah. AI photography on the eyes for it.
Yeah, literally eyeballs of AI, just like identify human. Like, hello. Just like analyzes your social media and picks a voice that suits you best.
Oh,
and it's like
trustworthy
old man. Like, come out of there, boy. Like,
dude. Well, dude, do you remember? You seen Ex Machina?
Yeah.
And there's almost like a throwaway bit in that where when he realizes that he's been set up, that he's been used for the test, he's been selected specifically for the test instead of winning the lottery. I think he was told that. And he says to him, "Did you?" And he says, "Did you model her off my pornography searches?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "Well, it's not hard."
Yeah.
It's like that's the thing, dude. It's like, you all of a sudden you give it a voice that would most appeal to whoever you're trying to get to. Oh man.
And then it works.
But then we should say in the spirit of good news, even though all bets are off now with good news, it could be used for positive things as well.
Yeah,
because it could be, if you have patients who are handicapped, so they're elderly patients, you could give it the voice of like a local from where they grew up.
Thatcher.
Yeah, you could give them the voice of Thatcher,
an old conservative dying man.
Yeah, or whatever. So I suppose there's good stuff.
There is. I mean,
get me a cup of tea. Mm-hmm. Jump in the dog.
Assuming it's used for all good things, it would be amazing.
Yeah.
But nothing's always used for all good things.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's amazing that it's gotten to that point now.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you go back and listen to that phone call again, it's just insane.
Mm-hmm.
And like there was loads of posts people saying it's gone way too far. There's no boundaries on this sort of stuff. And I bet Elon Musk probably woke up in a cold sweat when he heard about it. Like, no, it's what destroyed my planet. It won't destroy this one.
I sense a massive disturbance in the AI marketplace.
It's like, not again.
Incidentally, not that we have to have Musk Corner on every episode. Have you seen he's making sweets now?
Yeah, I saw.
I don't know any more about it than that.
I thought it was a joke, and then I looked in and I was like, oh, it's not. Fair. Isn't it called like the Awesome Company or something?
Probably.
Yeah, and it's like, it's called it's something along that line, so you can just say, oh yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good on him.
I'll buy some sweets.
Good for him. Good for him. Really, really trying to make a go of it in the world.
Oh man, I bet he's just like, what do humans like?
Just
sitting there like,
I hear they like.
Just sees his assistant like grab a sweet, like, what is that you're eating?
Yeah,
it's a sweet, sir. We all eat them here on Earth.
Yeah. I picture his assistant on the end of a chain. Yeah.
Yes.
Make the sweets, master.
It's a Twix, Elon.
And it's in 2 bits.
Yes. We like the novelty.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. It's scary. I don't know if there's any more to say about it, but it's scary.
It's
but cool as well. But exciting.
It's scary and cool. I guess it's all wrapped into one. I guess it's like the same as people saying self-driving cars are scary and all that sort of stuff, which I guess they are to a point. But I think it's still like a total beta at the moment. It's not. It's nowhere near release. And it makes you wonder if they'll even release it. Do you know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, sure.
When are they going to put that out? Or
it might not be in. I don't feel like it. Even if it isn't in the form that it is now, where they're saying, "Oh, you can use it to make phone calls," because I think humans might just reject that. To be honest, I think there might be enough of us who go, "I just want to talk to someone."
Yeah.
Because something might go. Or they'd take a lot of convincing to hand that over to a.
Mate, I think the whole duplex thing and AI calls and all that sort of stuff. I think unless you stay up to date with technology, it will be really hard to like. My nan often used to say, like, I feel like I'm being left behind because she never had a smartphone or a computer and, never, there was no entry point for her. And I feel like that there might be that as well, especially if we start doing loads of AI stuff. They'll even make, like, the third world gap even more massive. It's just like, we're all here doing duplex calls and, do you know what I mean? I don't know. Just,
sure.
It all adds up to that thing. But I think that point of entry is scary for people that don't follow tech or wouldn't have a clue, because no offense, but old people are often scammed by people on the phone anyway.
Yes,
and to be scammed by Google Duplex on the phone, you know.
Well, it'd be the next step. I mean, a friend of mine was telling me the other day, literally within the last couple of days, he had a text message that had been sent from his bank's number because someone, that tech exists. You can send a message from a proxy number if you like, and you just make that match up with the banking one. And it looked exactly like a banking text, like saying it was a confirmation of transfer for just enough money to make people go, oh, that's a bit too much.
Yeah.
And it says, call this number. And it looks exactly like, and it's not the right number to call, it's the scam line.
Yeah, it's proper bad.
It's super convincing.
But I mean, this goes back to like old school email scams,
Yeah, sure.
I can just imagine the whole thing repeating itself, but on a more difficult to understand level.
Yeah.
Or more difficult to get them or whatever, not spot it.
You'd end up like not trusting anything.
Yeah.
It'd be really easy to, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would. Unless you're speaking to someone directly.
Yeah.
It would be like...
It's crazy. It's like you'd have to have secret codes with, like, not to make 2 Harry Potter references in one podcast, but when they're not sure whether people... There's that bit in one of the films where they're not sure whether someone is who they say they are. Yeah. So they've got all these little memories that they share with each other going, oh yeah, remember when we did this?
Oh yeah.
The things that no one else would know.
Yeah.
But you start saying that to Google Duplex and oof.
Yeah, yeesh.
Yeesh. It's a scary world. Speaking of scary worlds, I'm going for it, mate. I'm going for the seamless transition right the way through. We're like 4 for 4. We should talk about Infinity War.
We should. We liked it, didn't we?
We did like it.
it.
Thanks for listening.
I guess you were right though, because we were saying we don't really need to mention this as much because everyone would have seen it.
Yeah.
It's just really good, isn't it? It's like the culmination of every single film all wrapped into one.
Yeah, yeah.
I read some interesting articles saying like you don't like the Avengers like you think you do. You're just part of the PR team. And I was like, do you know what? Maybe you're right, because when people say, "Oh, should I see Infinity War?" It's like, "Oh, have you seen all the others?" Well, you should go back and watch this, and it's like, where's your line between viewer and active promoter for the Which, and I think they were saying that you obviously do that in films anyway, but Infinity War is such a big one.
Yeah,
that
there are so many films that you could think you had to have watched to make sense of it.
And they're saying it's probably sold massively for the backlog as well, because some people who have seen this film are like, "Oh, I need to know what's going on."
Yeah, yeah.
So they go back and watch all the other ones. Because I mean, to watch, you couldn't watch Avengers 1, 2, and then Infinity War. It wouldn't make. If you just stuck with the Avengers films solely, it'd probably be quite a big leap. People are like, "Why aren't Tony and Cap friends anymore?"
Yeah,
they were best of pals.
Yeah.
Who the hell was Black Panther? Like all that stuff would just come up. But no, I thought it was awesome. What do you think?
Mate, I thought it was really, really good. Really good. I guess we can go full spoilers from the start, really, can't we?
Straight off,
But yeah, man, I liked. But talking about the films that came before, I liked the fact that it didn't kind of. If you didn't know where you were already at with it, it was like, right, well, you're not keeping up, that's fine. There was no revisiting character arcs and saying, oh, well, this person's this guy.
No, it didn't muck around, did it?
Yeah, there's no waste of time like that.
Mate, the whole film was full on from the get-go. There was no, like, melodrama or walking around like, oh, I feel really bad. There's none of that. It was just like, balls to the wall, stuff's going on, and they're all working to actively do something about it.
Yeah,
It's just insane.
I thought it was quite well structured. Like they managed to handle the scope of it pretty well, but with the divisions that they had.
Yeah, it was brilliant. You know, every character had their bit. I wish for a bit more Cap, if I'm honest.
Yes,
he's not only my favourite, but
fair enough. Yeah,
but I don't know when we were watching, I was watching it with Sam, a friend, and obviously loads of people as well, including Callie. But when Cap came out, I just like touched Sam's leg and we're like, oh god, it's Cap.
Here it is.
He kind of comes out of the dark. I was like, yes, it's Cap. He's gonna kick some ass, and then he does a little bit. But I don't know. I kind of wish that we did see a bit more.
Yeah, man, I would have liked a bit more.
Maybe we will in the next one.
Yeah,
we'll see. Because obviously, I guess the thing to take away from it is that obviously loads and loads of those people died, or we assume they died.
Yeah.
Most of those guys have got confirmed sequels, so it's almost not worth worrying about.
Well, this is not to get sidetracked. I remember some research a while ago that says you actually enjoy a story more if you've had it spoiled for you.
I've heard about
how it
this,
ends. You know, if you know, because as humans we're just wired for like fable. Do you know what I mean? Like campfire stories. You want to know, like we know how it's going to end.
Want the resolution.
Exactly. Yeah, there might be some twists and turns along the way, but we like having a picture of the package before we go in to start it.
Yeah.
And I think, like you said, I don't think it really matters that Spider-Man's got another deal, another film on the pipeline,
Do you know what I think does matter more is the heroes that are left. Because all of those heroes that are left are basically, they've all had film 3.
Yeah. They're all it's the original Avengers.
The original Avengers are left. Yeah. There's loads of theories that the people that died have actually gone into the Soul Stone as opposed to have actually died. Yeah,
possibly. They've confirmed that Gamora is in the Soul Stone.
Oh, have they?
That's it's the Russo brothers, isn't it? Yeah,
okay.
It's they said that's why when he clicks the fingers, he speaks to her.
Yeah.
And when she's going like, was it worth? What did it cost? All the rest of it.
Yeah.
That's her in the Soul Stone. They've said that is because in the comics it does that. Yeah, it
absorbs people, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if the next one will see like a massive kind of sacrifice to bring all those people back. An exchange of such, maybe, because I don't think we'll get Cap 4. I don't think we'll get Iron Man 4.
I think I
don't think we'll get 4.
Do you reckon?
4.
Do you reckon he might go?
I think a lot of them will go. I honestly think a lot of them will.
Okay.
Because I think most of them have like. I would love it for it to never end, but I think it has to. And I think like characters like Cap and not so much Iron Man, but I think characters like Cap and Thor have just kind of, or Iron Man actually especially, have reached the end of their plot arcs. Like there's loads of more stories they could tell, sure.
Yeah.
But I don't think Cap's strong enough anymore to keep up with these new threats, because they're insane, these threats. Like even Iron Man's getting battered around and he's like super cool, and Thor was like amazing when he comes back and he's got his new hammer. That was so cool. He's like, bring me Thanos. Yeah. It's just awesome.
What what I liked about that bit is that coming out of Ragnarok, it reminded me a lot of the end of Ragnarok, because I was kind of primed to think, right, he's back, he's going to kick some ass now. This is the resolution. Like, this is how it's going to turn the tide, you know.
Yeah.
So to then have him, like the bit at the end when he gets the axe in his chest.
Yeah.
I genuinely was thinking, oh right, this is like the final.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, this is the relief. No, and then no.
Yeah, then no. Should have
Yeah.
aimed for the head.
Dude, oh man, I have such a lot of. I feel like I find it difficult to talk about because my brain skips around with it so much to so many different things.
Mate, I talked to my friend at work about it quite a lot, and he said it was good, but it was like brimming with plot holes, which I kind of understood, because he said, like, why didn't Doctor Strange just literally just reverse time on him until he didn't exist? Because you can do it on one thing.
Yeah.
But I assume it's because Doctor Strange went into like 2 million different futures, didn't he? And maybe those futures explored all of those avenues.
I reckon that's what it comes down to, because you know his last lines when he's going, "It was the only way."
Yeah.
I'm really sorry. This is the only way.
Yeah.
I reckon he realised that he had to go. You know, he had to, even if it meant his own sacrifice. You know,
he had to go.
He had to let it.
And Tony somehow has to live.
Yeah.
Because he does survive. I thought he was gone. When he got stabbed, I was like, that's it.
I was like, yeah, dude. I was
gone.
expecting his death, to be honest, in this one.
Yeah. But he obviously doesn't. I thought Doctor Strange in it was so cool when he like almost went for the Ganesh, you know,
yes,
all the arms. And I was just like, that's so
much
cool.
Because you know what, in the Doctor Strange movie, I feel like he did a bit of cool magic, but it was the same magic over and over again. But in this, it's like there's all sorts. Yeah,
it was mental stuff going on. But I think what the stories they have to tell, maybe with the new Avengers, like maybe it is just getting to the point where those old characters don't really have a place for it anymore.
Yeah.
Because I know Spider-Man in the comics is like a massive, big-time Avenger.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether he'll become the new, almost like de facto leader or such, or, you know, not the leader, but a proper main character in
Eventually, maybe. I reckon Doctor Strange might take that role. To be, but then, not again, we're skipping around again, but with that Captain Marvel coming up.
Yeah.
Because she's a massive part.
She's basically Superman. She's like Marvel's Superman, basically.
Yeah. And that, honestly, I'm really looking forward to that.
I'm really excited to see what they'll do with her. Yeah. Or like where her power level lies and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
and just like where she been, more importantly.
Yeah. Well, dude, when that pager goes off at the end, honestly, right, I spent this whole movie feeling the exact emotions that I was supposed to feel. Dude, sadness, like tension.
Yeah.
When that beeper came out and the signal comes up, dude, I was like, right, I'm ready.
Yeah,
my body is ready. Bring me Captain Marvel.
I loved it how it was a pager as well, because it's set in the 90s. The Captain Marvel film, and that pager was obviously a big thing back then.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's a cool throwback anyway. So it was pretty cool to see all that.
Apparently Ant-Man and the Wasp
is
going to be the one that sets up a lot of information for the next Avengers, the next Infinity War.
Because he's obviously not in it at all.
Yeah.
So, neither's Cliff Barton, but
yeah.
But
it's a shame, but yeah.
I like him as a character. I do. I don't mind him at all. But he's ridiculously underpowered.
Yeah.
I mean, even on Black Widow to a point is like.
Yeah.
She's still hard.
You know what? Though that's what. And the same for Captain America. You know, you're saying that he's kind of falling behind in the ability to deal with the threat stakes. I like that in a way because he does it anyway.
Yeah, he does. Mate,
that's kind of cool.
When they're fighting in Wakanda, him and Black Panther like so far ahead of everyone else. I was like, oh, it's the big boys are gonna get in there. Yeah, it was wicked.
Oh, dude, yeah. So with Ant-Man, they reckon because it's gonna be the quantum realm.
Yes,
that they reckon is going to play a huge part. That's going to form a foundation for the next Infinity War.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So Captain Marvel as a character needs to come in.
Yeah.
Ant-Man needs to set a little bit of exposition, maybe. Yeah, a little bit of setting the land, if you like.
They introduced like other planets and stuff pretty quick and willy nilly. Like super. It was like. I guess in like a lot of the films, like Captain America and Iron Man and some of them, they don't really explore other planets at all. Like Guardians of the Galaxy, they do, because obviously out in the galaxy, and Thor to a point.
Sure, yeah.
But it was just like, they're here, they're there, they're here, they're there. I was just like, oh my God. Mate, the thing I think a lot of people don't forget, but it was funny as well. It was a funny film. It wasn't like, this is all doom and gloom.
Yeah.
It had genuine points of like, you know, Drax was still as funny as he's ever been. Probably the funniest.
See, I think that maybe it was a deliberate decision to put Thor with them, because then it's almost like that whole quest he goes on with Rocket.
Yeah.
It's almost that's allowed to be like its own little comedic bubble.
Yeah.
Where
it's almost a relief, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but because especially with the tone of Ragnarok again, you can't. I don't know if they would have worked in the same way if they'd have been blended with the rest of the cast.
Yeah,
more.
I think you're right. Separating them up.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah,
a good shout. Because they are totally different from like it's a different type of humor from Iron Man or Doctor Strange completely.
Yeah,
but like I think Thor's like having to open that thing. He's like. That's the power of style. It'll kill you. He's like, only if I die. It's like that's so Ragnarok. It's just like straight out of the book.
Do you know what though? Do you know the only thing that I thought was not great? I hope it was a deliberate comedic decision. Is Peter Dinklage's voice, the voice he was putting on, where it is proper like American pretending to do in English, like. Oh yes,
yeah. It was.
You must go through here.
It was very like Shakespearean.
Yeah,
over. I quite liked it though because he's obviously massive, but he's small.
Yeah. I really that is very good.
I think one of my favorite bits when Thor turns up on the battlefield and he just turns to Cap. He's like, "So you've copied my beard?"
Yeah,
it's just like first thing he says.
Yeah,
so good.
Oh yeah, it is good. And I do. A lot of people make this comparison because it's a low hanging comparison to make.
Yeah.
But it is like Empire Strikes Back. It's got that same kind of feel to it. I thought.
Yeah, I get that.
Where there is resolution in it, and the storyline of that film it does end. There is completion to it.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of little feelers of story that go right. Well, we need to finish this off. This needs to be resolved.
It made me excited to see more Doctor Strange stuff because like if those are the sorts of powers he's dealing with now, because in the first one he gets pretty powerful pretty quick, but it's very much the learning movie. Like he's got the light whip thing and uses that a lot, and that was kind of it. But when he split up into all of them, then used all of the light whips, I was like, oh my god, it's so cool.
That was awesome.
It was really cool. So we'll have to see.
Yeah,
but liked it. Probably going to see it again on Monday.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dude, it's the biggest box opening ever.
Yeah, I
it's
can
like
believe
bested
it, mate.
Star Wars, which is, that's insane.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, at the end of the day, I think like the Marvel, the whole thing, it's better than Star Wars on the fact that it delivers so much more for fans. People are always so disappointed with Star Wars. It's like, I just didn't do this, didn't do that.
Yeah. Is that right? I'm going to have to start a whole new discussion.
No, it's not.
But is that to do with the fandom? Because I do feel like Star Wars fandom is a little bit more toxic, to use that word for it. Especially because
full on.
Yeah, I mean, maybe in 30 years' time, people will be complaining about Marvel films because they will still be making them.
Mate,
sure.
we'll be watching them forever.
Yeah,
and I'm happy with that. But
but in 30 years, maybe you and I will be still on ISBO up 30-year anniversary, going, oh, well, they're not as good as they haven't
the
really.
Original Avengers.
Yeah, what's all this about? You'll never get the magic of the early days back again. So maybe that's it. Maybe it's the fandom on that one.
But one last thing before we finish up. Actually, they're saying that thing I was saying you're not a fan of the Avengers. You're their PR people.
Yeah, sure.
They're saying how geek culture, because that's proper straight out comic book stuff.
Yeah,
has become the norm, and they were just saying how it's an interesting flip.
Yeah,
because usually if you knew someone that read comics and about superheroes, you'd be like, oh, they're a bit geeky and probably don't like talking to people and all that sort of stuff. But now it's like so massive that everyone loves it. And that's kind of, they said in this article, it's kind of ruined that aspect of it.
Yeah.
But it was also saying how good, it shows how good it is.
Yeah.
When people say they're really into comics and read like loads, I guess it's the same with like MMOs and games and whatever you play.
Yeah, absolutely.
People don't get into them because they're crap. You get into it because it's genuinely really good. Yeah, and it's like, oh my god, it's amazing.
That's the thing. It's not something that's crap that's tailored towards a specific market.
At all.
Do you know what I mean? It's something that's really good.
Yeah. It's just I guess it's just the movie medium that's just made it proper accessible.
A good example here is my wife watching Infinity, which she hasn't watched all of the Marvel films before this.
Yeah.
But now, and she's terrible with actors and actresses' names. I think she'd probably say this herself. I hope. I'm sorry. But she knows who Chris Pratt is now.
Yeah.
Which is a bit worrying. She's like, oh yeah, there's this other movie with Chris Pratt in it. I was like, how many of these movies have you watched?
Yeah.
No,
Watch
get off the Netflix. Yeah, no, dude, I think you're right. There is something I wanted to show you, and this is, I'm going to say that this is in place of question from the box.
Okay, let's do
all
it.
right, because this is just very, very cool. Okay, there is. I'm going to show you something.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you about it. I'm going to describe it. I'm going to show it to you, but I'm not going to describe it. Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to leave that for the listeners to check out by themselves. Okay.
So, Ben, show me a picture
There
of
is-
what
there
looks
is-
like a penis.
Yeah, what looks like a penis, only smaller. There is a religious artifact in Spain. I think it's in Malaga, maybe,
Right.
called La Mano Incorrupta
Right.
de Santa Teresa, which is the incorrupted hand of Saint Teresa.
Right.
Okay. So you know how different churches, especially in Catholic churches, have these artifacts that are supposed to be bits of saints.
Yeah,
and
bits
like
of
Jesus'
Jesus.
foreskin is apparently kicking around somewhere. No, it's really weird.
Yeah.
Or there'll be like the leg or the
Yeah.
thigh bone of such and such a saint
Yeah.
buried in the crypt kind of thing. Well, this is the hand of Saint Teresa, okay? Because
Right.
the story, if you like, or the history goes that after she died, it was a couple of months later, the body was exhumed, and she was perfectly preserved, hadn't rotted at all, it was as if she was still alive.
Yeah.
So someone went, all right, well, we'll keep an arm of hers, like a hand and a part of the forearm,
Yeah.
as a religious artifact.
Yeah.
So they encased it. They encased it to preserve it. They encased it in a metal case, and now they keep it, and they've got it, and it's a very, very religious thing. It's it's sacred
yeah.
and all the rest of it. So again, I'll put this description in the show notes. It's La Mano Incorrupta de Santa Teresa. Okay,
Okay.
I'll spell it out in the description. I'm going to show you a picture of it.
No.
That's
like that?
that's Tom's reaction to it. Now you need to. You just need to have a look yourself.
Do you think that's where they got the idea from?
Who knows? Who knows?
Is the actual hand in there?
Well, yes, apparently. Whether it's whether it's
Some bones.
rotted away, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, yeah. But you kind of suspend your disbelief. But yeah,
You'll have to
just
click
check it
the
out.
link.
Yeah, click the link to find out. That's
That's it.
that's all for today. If you've got this far, then thank you.
Cheers, Randy. And
We are-
Dave.
We are forever in
Dave.
your debt.
Yeah.
Drop us a like, a comment. Share it if you fancy. Ask us some questions.
Even bloody share it if you have to.
If you have to, yeah. Yeah, I mean, tell us what you thought about.
Are you
the
scared of
things.
Google Duplex?
Yes. What would your last words be as the Boston Dynamics bears down on you going,
Punching you
it's the flash of the life.
slapping your neck. Please stop.
So yeah, thanks as always to Tony Thaxton for our theme. Thanks to Tom for editing in that Duplex interview masterfully. Where can people find you if they want to get hold of you?
On the old Twitter at Bite Review.
Perfect. I can be on old Twitter at Benji1Long. And that's it.
That's it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all. Good night.
Muchas gracias. Goodbye. Bye.
Bye.